As the world continues to face complex challenges, some countries remain entrenched in violence, political instability, and security threats. In 2025, the risk to safety in certain regions of the world has only escalated, leaving many wondering which countries are the most dangerous to live in or visit. From war-torn nations to those struggling with crime, economic collapse, and extreme government repression, this list will take you through the top 10 most dangerous countries of 2025. In the next few minutes, we'll reveal the countries that you should avoid at all costs. Do you think your country is on this list? Let's find out. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you won't miss our future deep dives into global subjects. And if you have a country in mind that you think should be on this list, let us know in the comments below. Let's kick things off with number 10 and work our way to the most dangerous. While Mexico is known for its beautiful beaches and rich culture, it's also a country plagued by one of the most dangerous criminal organizations in the world. Drug cartels such as the Sinaloa and Jalisco New Generation cartels continue to fight for dominance, leading to rampant violence in several regions. In 2025, gang-related killings and kidnappings are at an all-time high, making large swaths of the country highly dangerous for both locals and tourists. Number 9, Nigeria. With its vast population and economic potential, Nigeria is one of Africa's most important countries. However, ongoing insurgencies, particularly from groups like Boko Haram and the Islamic State West Africa province, have made parts of the country a no-go zone. In 2025, terrorism, kidnappings for ransom, and widespread corruption have further destabilized the region, leaving civilians caught in the crossfire. Number 8, Venezuela, once one of South America's wealthiest nations, is now in the midst of an economic collapse. Hyperinflation, mass poverty, and a lack of basic necessities like food and medicine have driven millions to flee the country. The government of Nicolas Maduro is also known for repressing political opposition and human rights, creating an atmosphere of fear and instability. In 2025, the country's crisis shows no signs of slowing down, making it a highly dangerous environment for its citizens. Number 7, Somalia has been in a state of conflict for decades. In 2025, the country is still suffering from the devastating effects of civil war, terrorism, and famine. The Al-Shabaab militant group controls large parts of the country and continues to carry out brutal attacks against civilians and military forces alike. The lack of a central government and the ongoing humanitarian crisis only add to Somalia's dangerous reality. Number 6, Syria has been a war zone for nearly a decade, and in 2025 the devastation continues. While certain areas of the country have seen a fragile peace, many regions are still ravaged by conflict. Multiple foreign powers, including Russia, Iran, and the United States, have been involved in the civil war, with rebel groups, ISIS, and the Syrian government fighting for control. The risk of violence, airstrikes, and terrorist activity makes Syria one of the most dangerous places on earth. 5, Afghanistan. Despite the United States' withdrawal in 2021, Afghanistan remains in a state of deep instability. The Taliban, now back in power, has imposed strict laws leading to human rights violations, especially against women and ethnic minorities. In 2025, Taliban rule remains oppressive, and the country faces widespread poverty, terrorism, and drug trafficking. The power vacuum left by foreign withdrawal continues to fuel violence in the region. Number 4. The Central African Republic has been caught in a cycle of violence for years, with armed militia groups fighting for control of the country's rich natural resources. In 2025, the nation remains plagued by violent conflict, with the government struggling to assert authority over vast portions of the country. With high rates of displacement, armed groups, and widespread poverty, the CAR is one of the most dangerous countries to live in. Number 3, South Sudan has been embroiled in a civil war since its independence in 2011. Despite a peace agreement in 2018, violence continues in various regions of the country. Ethnic militias, brutal government forces and armed groups continue to clash, leading to widespread suffering and displacement. In 2025, the situation remains dire, with extreme poverty, hunger and constant insecurity. Number 2 is Yemen. The civil war has created one of the most dire humanitarian crises in the world. The war between Houthi rebels supported by Iran and the Saudi-led coalition has left tens of thousands dead and millions displaced. In 2025, the situation is still worsening, with bombings, hunger and disease spreading rapidly. Yemen is a virtual war zone with no end in sight for its long-running conflict. At number 1 on our list, we have Ukraine. Following the Russian invasion in 2022, Ukraine has become a battleground for one of the most intense conflicts in recent history. In 2025, the war is still ongoing, with heavy casualties, widespread destruction and millions of refugees. The invasion has led to countless civilian deaths, mass displacement, and an economic collapse. As Russian forces continue to push forward, Ukraine remains the most dangerous country in the world. Do you agree with our list of the most dangerous countries in 2025? Is there a country you think should have made the top 10? Leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. As we've seen, the world's most dangerous countries are grappling with everything from ongoing wars to brutal dictatorships, terrorist threats, and severe economic crises. In 2025, safety and stability remain elusive for many around the world, but we can only hope that peace and security will eventually find their way back to these troubled regions. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you're always up to date on global issues. Stay informed, stay safe, and let's continue the conversation. Until next time.